countries, can we also be backed up that even if their policies might hinder us, can we also fight with our own policies? And I remember in China, the one thing I realized is that the Chinese really want to get into the African market. They are really eager to partner with African people and get our product in their market. But to say, what policies are there for us, to back us up when we go to China and have our products there? So I feel like maybe those type of policies that entrepreneurs should be protected, and commercializing their things should not be expoliated in terms of them depricing or negotiating. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. I'm going to recommend you to my team is there.
Okay.
You see that gentleman with braids? The guy with the braids there?
Yes, yes, with the glasses.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Speak to him
Okay.
because we have the Aikoyaka chapter in South Africa.
Okay.
Okay. And they are the ones who help with trade readiness, where you understand how to start trading under the FCFTA and explore the African market. And then they also help you on how to get yourself out with your products outside Africa. Okay. So they are the one running the South African chapter. So please engage with them after this.
No problem.
And then you'll be able to get assistance as well.
Amazing.
And anyone else is also here with the product and you're looking at exporting it from here to other countries in Africa, please, the team is there. Aikoyaka team is there. Engage with them. Okay. Under the FCFTA, they are still working on the IPA and intellectual properties protocols. We still have discussions around that. But once that is also sorted, now we're going to have a policy to back up intellectual properties in the continent.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So now, Paul, would you like to comment on that before I open the stage?
No, thank you.
Okay. The way she said it. Okay, great. Are we happy with the panelists? Did we get something here? Great. So I'm gonna take a few questions. I want to take.
So many people.
I will just behave like yesterday.
Yes.
Two here, two here. Okay, so I will start here. I will take two here, or three here, and then because I'm also looking at time. Okay, we need to go for break at 1.
Hi, everybody. My bishop doesn't give me the mic at church because he says I take over the service. So I'll try not to do that. For those of you who are here for the first time today, I'm going to reintroduce myself. My name is Caroline, and today I'm here as the acting CFO for the South African Youth Business Chamber. I am a very multifaceted woman. I'm also in the creative industry as an actress, model, presenter.
Oh, wow.
I have my own platform called Influential Woman. We stand against gender-based violence. I have my own apparel brand, and there's just so many things. But let me just cut it right there. To Mpo, I want to say that, it takes a lot of courage to sit in front of a crowd and say that you have stage fright. So I commend you for being so brave,
You're
and
so kind. Sorry I ruined it, guys.
in terms of the protection policy for information, not so long ago, I was approached by, a creative genius, and we were working on something aviation related. However, that was something that we kept on pacing back and forth, and we consulted with some lawyers and all of that. And the only thing that is in place is an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement. That protects your personal information in the media space. And if you breach that, it's copyright infringements and, breach of contract. So that's the only thing. And if you have a product or a logo, you patent that to protect that from someone else using that. And our creative industry is not regulated. Saga is really fighting, but our minister, Gayton McKenzie, has said no. Please don't come for me if you're watching this. And we are really fighting so many fights within the country. But in as much as we're fighting, and it seems as though we are not going anywhere, we've come a long way. And, you know, being in rooms like this is an opportunity to network and, you know, commercialize your product, your talent, your art. So yeah, that was just a comment from my side.
Thank you.
Okay, can we take one more? The back there, the lady there, that lady there, the lady there, with the pen up, please.
Oh. Lucy, it seems like she really has a question. Lady with the red hair.
Hi, everyone. I hope you
One
guys are
with the head.
well.
Which one is that?
Thandisa.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Okay, so my questions are I'm going to start with the writing of the story, just like Kushaga Ulembe. You were talking about how the script was in English. I think the first mistake is allowing different people writing our own story. For reference, Shaga Lembe received a lot of backlash of how that is not our history and how it was represented. I think we need to start take control of that, and also the policies, you know, on your TikTok, Instagram, and whatsoever. I think we should go back and do our own apps. Mixes was once bigger than Facebook, and we can do it again because you can go on TikTok. It's always South Africa trending. That means we have something. So we must not spend the money in correcting these policies, but we should spend the money in investing in our own creativity. Yes, the government is the one that's stopping us and the youth when we go to them that can you please invest in our app? We could have had the first electric car in South Africa, but the government said, no, it's too early. Can you please do something else different? And then Tesla took off when we could have had Joule as the number one car in the world. So, and also, you know, we can use your YouTube. We have your writers and directors such as Chris Radebe using YouTube now as a platform. Ukuthi maybe he can do something out of that. Yes, people are watching, but also he's not benefiting because the money goes to YouTube. It all goes to one place. We need to invest in our own platforms and stop advocating for these policies because these companies don't care. They only care for what they can benefit from us. So thank you.
Can we get one that side, that lady there standing? Yeah, we'll come back this because I also. Someone's gonna slap me.
Morning, everyone.
Okay, I'll give questions to some of you, okay? Because it's the last day as well. So, but please, we need to stick on time, eh? Questions, not comments. Questions. Go ahead.
Okay, morning, everyone. My name is Bitumelo Mhango, and I am a community development practitioner at UJ. So, what I wanted to ask is, how do I protect myself from being greedy? Because I'm in Galapa.
I like your
Love your
honesty,
answers.
girl.
So, what I'm saying is that a company can approach me as an influencer or like a certain person. How do I protect my craft's identity from being exploited and from me being exploiting it for other reasons?
So I'll take that. I'll answer that. More than anything, you need to make sure that you establish a contract. You have a contract where you have clauses that say, we can only use this video just for 3 months, not outside of social media. And you need to also make sure that you read your contracts properly. Don't be amazed that they're offering you 5 million because $5 million or rands, because what they can say is, fine, yes, you are posting just for summer, but they could take this video of yours and then post it in Australia and you don't even know. So you need to make sure that you listen to what they're saying, read the contracts properly, find a lawyer. I'm very lucky because I have lawyer friends. So that helps me. I send them contracts. I'm like, hi, this is the agreement I have with Nivea. I do have a brand campaign with Nivea and L'Oreal and Cherry. But all I'm saying is you establish a contract, you read your clauses very well. And you also, you know, because that is what negotiating is all about. You say your piece, I say my piece, we find a common ground. So have a contract and read your clauses very well, please.
Okay, amazing. Can you get Palesa? Where's Palesa? Yeah. And then we come back that side, okay? Yeah, we're just gonna take that one and one more on this side, and then we're back here.
Yes.
This was a good fight, by the way.
Yes.
So I was saying that African creatives often find themselves navigating towards, right? We're trying to stay true to our cultural roots while trying to reach like the global audience.
Mm.
So for instance, I do poetry for the past 2 days when I was performing here, right? I was performing in my language, which is Sesotho. And every time I walked out that door, people would be like, I didn't understand what you said, but I feel you. So my question is, how do creatives protect their cultural identity without feeling pressured to dilute or to translate it for international consumption? Also, in your view, is the global market ready to receive African stories on their own terms?
Amazing.
So one more here, and then we're back to the stage.
Yes.
That gentleman there, that one there. No, not the here. The one with the red hair. Yeah. I don't know. Is it red? What is this? Brown. Sorry, I'm far from you. I can't really see.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
I know this isn't much of a question, but it's something that can help Paul navigate because I'm a writer and I own a production company. So to protect yourself, to protect your IP, firstly, there's poor man's trading. When you are a writer, writing a script or anything on paper or digitally, you email it to yourself. You don't open it. You've trademarked the time and the date that you've received your own copyright.
Mm.
Then, secondly, you need to understand that once you write a script, it can be interpreted by anyone and remade in any shape or form. But you can register the final made product, then you can copyright it. So there are ways to protect yourself legally. Um, if you want to go to the extent, you need to register yourself to organizations such as the Writers Guild of South Africa. There you can register your outline. No one can steal it from you. You will also be registered under the IPO, Independent Producers Organization. There you will have a representative of enormous producers backing you, and that way no one can infringe your ideas and monetize on it. And yeah,
Nice.
thanks
Wow.
everyone.
Wow.
Great.
IPO.
Okay. So because that was not a question, so I have to take a question. But only one. Okay, take her. Please kindly take her. And then we're back.
Thank you, Chair. Okay, greetings, everyone. Like you all know me, Ndugumako Sazana. My question, I actually have two questions for you, Leander. I heard that you mentioned that South Africa is only country that has royalties. Doesn't have. All right. Okay. So my question is the first one. What are the laws that you think, as a actress who has been locally and globally, that can be implemented to protect those artists within the space or within the same work environment, to actually those who are exploited, that you mentioned, Umam Nandi? We grew up, like you said, we grew up watching her. She's even a role model to many, but he couldn't even bury herself. So that alone, it actually tells us what kind of a government do we have. The very same government that doesn't protect the African talent, because Umam Nandi, now herself is a brand. So you can imagine a brand that grew, that gave birth to you, that's about to give birth to another generation and can't really bury herself or even go not even having food to even sleep. You understand? What laws that can be implemented? Because I believe we are from different organizations that are into legislative myself.
Yes.
So hence I'm actually asking about laws because there's a proper way on proper procedural channels to go through that to actually protect our youth who are into the same space and following you. Probably right now, I can stand to say you are a role model to many. So you can imagine that people who are going to step in the same spaces as you, and then they're going to be exploited. Some don't even know the contracts, the advices that you were giving. They don't know that. They don't even afford. They can't afford to go to schools
Yes.
that are actually going to shape them into this kind of information that we are gathering here. You understand? So what laws that can be implemented? My second question, as I'm finishing, Bonunda bezitha lapha, and I believe that our royal families that we have from different cultures, they are alone can contribute to the economy of South Africa and tourism side. But we are actually not utilizing them to the best of their capability because right now, like she was saying, how do I embrace myself with my own African craft without having to accommodate someone from international countries? So using our ondaba ezitha, you mentioned them, Abatembu, causes Team Kulu jalo jalo. How do we actually give them a platform and recognize them that they have to get a recognition from the government to say, you can contribute to the GDP of South Africa, but how do we embrace that? Because I believe government and the royalties, they have a different approach. Their level of talking to their people is different. We are now used to social media. They are used to having those big mass meetings with their people. So the language on how to grasp people's minds is different.
Yes.
But allowing those two can actually help to actually recognize our true nature as Africans. Thank you.
Thank you.
So yeah, back to the panelists. Please, you may respond to the questions.
Interesting questions. Thank you so much for that. Thank you for contributing, guys. We appreciate that. I will start with the first question about the laws that we can implement. I am very solution driven as a person, and I really appreciate the fights that Saga is actually doing. So I went through, the stuff and the information under that organization that protects actors in South Africa. So there is a part where you actually contribute monthly. It's like a debit order that obviously they take every month from your account. And this debit order obviously is for you to be part of Saga. But also there's another one called the funeral benefit plan. So where you can send out the money, whether it's 160 or 100 rand, up to they can only cover you up to 10,000 rand, but that means something at least because they see how things work. In America, when actors are not working, this is what they do. So the law says if you have been paid or if you're being paid 100,000 per month from your previous job, while you wait for another gig, we pay you that money. So that is the law that we need in Africa as a whole, as a continent. It's not just South Africa, but in Africa, we need a law that says, fine, you haven't been paid for the past 5 months. What was your last payment? You present your pay slip or your invoices and stuff like that, and it sustains you until you have your next job. And number two, people need to be under agencies, guys. I know that you don't want to give agencies your 20% or your 10%, but it helps you so much because you'll be in front of a giant producer who will say to your face that this is my production and I'll make sure that you never work again, and you have no value expression. So have bodies that represent you and help you. And thank you for that IPO information and detail you gave us. We really, really need it. So number one, while you're waiting for your next job, they must pay us. They must, because what happens, you protect your dignity. And when your dignity is not protected, it is so crippling as a human being. You're out here, you're a star, you have 1 million people love you, you are famous all over the world, but you still use a taxi to go to work. You still go back home and stay at a back room because you don't have royalties. So while we wait, Gates and Mackenzie, if you're watching, pay us while we wait for our next jobs.
Yay.
Well said.
Paul, would you like to respond to any of the questions?
I guess I'll answer Palace's question on whether African stories are ready to be received internationally. I think we need to be less afraid of what we need to say as Africans. We our we need to say the things that we need to say. We need to oh God.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, very intelligent woman.
Yeah. And be authentic. Be authentic.
You don't have to copy
Oh my
anyone.
God.
You are you. Hit it.
Yes.
Speak from you. Speak from you.
It's just not flowing. It's not flowing.
It will flow. Don't worry. So before, well, I'll come back to you still.
Yes.
Just get some water. Breathe in and out. Yes, Isabella, go ahead.
I think I'll touch base on what Palisa had stated and asked. For me, in my opinion, if the global market was not ready for us, how then did they come and take resources from us?
Mm.
How then did they come and extract our minerals, our, our products and take it to them? Because if we were not a global target, then there wouldn't have been whatever happened in those 90s. There wouldn't have been apartheid. There wouldn't have been whatever is happening in Congo. Because we know that Congo is a very rich country, but you still see them coming and extracting our minerals. So Palisa, yes, Africa is a demand for the global. And the one thing I just recently had said, maybe let me elaborate more, is that the government has to also back us up with policy that even if we go into the global market, we are protected and that they don't exfoliate us because of our creativity. And with people like you that want to be protected with culture, we also have to legalize it so that the policy can be implemented. With IP matters, I'm currently in the process of that. You need to go to a law firm that deals with such matters. Not every lawyer is specializing in the same field. There's specific sectors that every lawyer is specialized in. So there are lawyers that are specialized in intellectual property. So take your creativity, take your ideas, take everything that you have and hand it over to the people that can help you protect your craft, protect your ideas. And then we can now go and say, listen, I've protected myself. Where's the policy that also is going to protect me when I'm outside? Because they also have their policies, which you said that how can we be protected from their policy? It's only our policies that can protect us against them. Because if they evaluate, if their policies do not align. If we violate their policy, our policy is able to back us up and say, no, even if my craft or whatever I'm bringing does not align with your policy, we also have a policy that you have to respect. Thank you.
Can I just add? Sorry. Balisa, ne? So right now, I just want to say Africa doesn't need permission to be global.
Come on.
At all. They see us, they know us. That's why they're here. If you go to Cape Town, Lucy the Great, I'm pretty sure you will, back me up and substantiate what I'm saying. If you go to Cape Town, we have digital nomads.
Yeah.
Everyone from America is this side. All the people telling our authentic stories are from America or people from different worlds who are not from Africa. But the thing is, we don't have value expression. It goes back to policies and laws and stuff like that. But on the positive side, they are coming. They are investing in us because they're finally catching up. There's a book called The Only Black at a Dinner Party by Dr. Eric Mieni. And he says it so well. He says, bring out the God in you. Bring out the God in you and make sure that you operate with excellence in whatever rooms you're in. They will catch up. Africa is the future. We are the future.
Yeah.
So, the fact that Sonke Sila, guys, I know that we will have a great way forward, and this is a great start.
Yeah.
This is a great start. They will catch up. Africa is the future.
That is beautiful, beautiful. I would like Paul to give us some words of remarks in terms of what you would advise the young people who want to get into the production design, something that you have been doing for some time. What would you tell them that they need to have in mind?
You know, can I speak from a point as a writer?
Yeah.
From as an author.
Yes, please go ahead.
Belief is everything. You know, belief is everything, and we are born with our gifts. We are born with our talents. You don't need to be an academic to realize your gift. You know, all you need to do is we just need assistance. We just need to be guided.
Mentorship, things
Yes,
like
we need
that.
mentorship. We need to.
Money, investment.
We need money. Yeah. Yeah, maybe, you know. I don't know if we need money as writers, but we need to be encouraged. Yeah. That's all I say about that. Thank you.
Amazing. Can we give a round of applause to the speakers, please? And before I close this panel, I think I would add just something very quickly, which is authenticity is what can make you global.
Yes.
Okay? Be authentic. Be yourself. If you're creating content, don't try to copy anyone. This is the reason why Africa Magic has become powerful in the continent, because they've built it by telling their own stories. Okay? And this is why also I love how South Africa loves to talk about its own stories. The only struggle I usually see is that international producers don't want to go and shoot in townships due to insecurity issues. But there is so much that can be explored in those places. And working with local government in those communities, and for example, working with chiefs and royal, families responsible, and kings and queens in those spaces, will allow us to explore our own stories. If you want to create a content that speaks about the real story of South Africa, a real story of your community, talk to people who understand and know the story. Okay? Don't just create it, because it will not fit. Okay? And it's, even if we have to go and take it to Netflix or something, they're also looking for authenticity, even though the idea is that they want famous people on your movie. But the thing is that you need to bring something that is authentic and speaks to your culture, to your identity. And this is how we are going to impose our stories to the global market. This is how Amapiano imposed himself. This is how Afrobeats imposed himself, right? So let's do it together. Are we good?
Yes.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Let's give a round of applause to the panelists. Please, you may stand up for a few minutes. I will ask the media team to just take a quick picture for you so that you don't go unnoticed. So the media team will come and take a very nice picture. I don't know if our media team is around. I'd appreciate that. I can see he's here. And while the panels are taking a picture, I would like to call our next speaker that's going to engage with us in the next 20 minutes to talk around the topic of the Agenda 2063 in action, youth-led solutions for climate resilience and sustainable development. This is going to be presented by our none other an amazing woman that caught me by the corridor, and I was wondering, who is she? And then apparently she's the one I was waiting for. And I don't want to be punched by her husband. It's just, yeah, please don't do that. Don't punch me. So she is none other than Nicolette Matuku, a multi-award winning development specialist and leadership and youth development expert. As she comes up, let's give a round of applause. Do you want to use this or this?
Let me see which one is easier. Good afternoon. Oh, come on. We're young people. Good afternoon. I know I'm 35 and it's my last year as a youth, but please, right? First of all, before I actually have you stand up, I want to say, clap your hands for being here today on the last day in the last 2 hours, because in every conference, this is where opportunities are dished out. The last 2 hours of every conference. You must keep that in mind as a young person, right? So clap hands for yourself. Secondly, I would like to say congratulations to Lucy and the team. They did a fantastic job in putting us together. A round of applause for them as well. So I come bearing opportunities from the AU, from the UN. So I'd love for you to sit tight and listen, take out your notebook, record a video, whatever it's going to be, because this is why we actually have been here the past 3 days, right? But before that, so that the room is in one unity and in one accordance, I'm going to ask for you to stand up. So we just do an activity for 1 minute so that when I start speaking, right, you were asking for where is the money? How do I get funding? Where do I get the opportunities? And I am here to talk about that. So when I start speaking, I want you to listen and listen carefully, right? So let's stand up. Do I have your attention now? I'm going to ask for you to close your eyes and keep quiet. It's safe, don't worry. So I want you to click your fingers. No, I haven't given you the instruction. Come on. You're closing your eyes. I want you to click if this has been a phenomenal event the way you envisioned it before you came here. Once, click once. Secondly, I want you to click if you have learned something that's going to change your life the moment you go back home. I want you to click if you're grateful you are in this room today on a rainy Saturday in December. I want you to click if you want to travel Africa and make a change. I want you to click if we all agree that from today, as Africa and as youth, we are the future. Thank you, you can sit down. So we are in unity, right? Right? Okay. Secondly, I want you to raise your hand if you are familiar with the UN SDGs. If you know about the UN SDGs. If you know 3 or more, please raise your hand. Okay. I want you to raise your hand if you know about the Agenda 2063. If you know more than 3 of them. You see? We're talking about Africa. We know all the 16 or 17 SDGs, but we do not take time to know about the African agenda. Right. So today, I want to share with you a story on how climate change changed my life, and I am going to change the perspective that you have about climate change as a case study and as a story. And I hope that my story inspires you. So allow me to take you on a journey that begin not with the statistics or the jargon that I talk about now, but the journey that started with a question on how climate change became more than a crisis to me and how it presented an opportunity I never saw coming, and how I want to demystify the jargon of climate change and show you how you can make money with climate change as a fashion designer, as a creative artist, as a writer, as an entrepreneur. So when I first stepped into this field, I was overwhelmed by the complexity of the language, your carbon credits, your mitigation, adaptation, your resilience. You know, all of these things. I felt like a maze designed to keep ordinary people out. I was just a young person in my 20s, and I didn't care about what was happening with climate change because what I needed was a job and I needed money. But I refused to be locked out. I chose to translate this mystic maze into a map, not only for me, but also for young people, that they could follow and actually earn an income through innovation and impact. So my name is Nicolette Matuku, and I am a multi-award-winning African development specialist and growth strategy expert. I am 35 years old, and I build ideas for a living. I develop small businesses into African empires. I help presidential candidates to step into office and stay in there for the duration of their stay. And I help African brands to compete at global stages. Round of applause. Thank you. Now that you know me, I completed my bachelor's degree here at WITS, and I majored in media and anthropology, which simply means I understand communication science and how societies should coexist socioeconomically. My first job was an internship at an aid agency, although I wanted my first job to be at an ENCA, BBC, journalism, etc. And my first ever task on my first day as I sat on the desk was a political campaign for Miss Nomvula Mokonyane. And what I needed to do was to come up with a comprehensive women and girls empowerment campaign, which means I needed to understand policy and the law. It was so boring. I was so dismayed. After 3 months, my internship ran out. I couldn't renew it. I needed to find a job. I took up a job as a receptionist and an admin person at a mining procurement company that supplied equipment in the DR Congo. Oh my gosh, it was so boring for a media and arts student, you can imagine, but I needed to survive. I did not speak French, no Swahili. And I found myself constantly traveling to Lubumbashi in the DR Congo, right? I had nothing to do with engineering or mining, but I needed to survive. I had to learn regional laws. I had to learn cultural differences and environmental sustainability. Again, it was so boring. But I needed to and pay the. Thank you. Are we following? Are we together? So by now, I'm sure you're wondering how this journey actually then came into climate and all of that. So all these experiences in the beginning of my career were actually preparing me for a bigger purpose that I wasn't aware, I did not plan for, but they actually then came through me as I was trying to survive. 2017 to 2020, my life got a bit more exciting. I actually was hired at a hip hop youth culture agency where I killed the role as a business development specialist. I met and I worked with all the famous actors and celebrities that you idolize. I don't know who you idolize now. I've worked with your Casper and your Vest, your AKAs, your Nasty C's, your Javas, Big Zulu, DJs in Clay, you name them. Whilst I was doing that during the day, as an anthropology and media student, I yearned for all that I really wanted. So I started doing what I needed to do in the day, and in the night, I actually started researching and volunteering for those passions that I had in politics, in business development, and all of that. This was unpaid. During the day, I was happy. My husband, then my boyfriend, was so happy because we used to go for your castle light events, you know, all these cool things as a young person that we needed to do. 2020, COVID hit. And during lockdown, I lost my job, my very cool job that I had taken for 3 years, right? And because I was so cooked up in the house and bored, I accompanied my husband to his training at a pig training course. boring again. When I got there, the trainer, the lady, insisted that I sit in the training because it was cold outside. And I attended this class for 5 hours. And I ended up also writing an exam and earning a distinction in that course. I did not hear the end of it as we drove from Heidelberg with my husband, and he kept on saying, you see, agriculture is actually interesting and you could become the most powerful young African Black woman if you took this seriously. The next Monday, I enrolled for an agriculture course, a climate change course, a sustainable diet course, and sustainability courses with the United Nations Institution of Training and Research, and I passed with distinctions. On the 1st of July, I wrote an article on LinkedIn titled A Love Letter, detailing everything that I've just told you on becoming a pig farmer, climate resilience, and everything that I had learned. In 2 hours, the article hit 250,000 impressions, 300 comments, 128 messages in my inbox, where 85% of those messages were offers of partnerships, international gigs, speaking slots, and job opportunities. Amongst these offers, these are some of the ones that stood out and that I took on that day. The first one, I became the youngest African woman to sit on the board of the African Agriculture Agenda, headquartered in Nigeria, and I represented South Africa. The second one, I was selected as the youth delegate for South Africa at the Global Chamber of Business Leaders in Washington, D.C. The third one, I was selected as the head of artist acquisition for online fundraising for a campaign that was called COVID, where we needed to raise $5,000 through online concerts to help cocoa farmers in Cote d'Ivoire. So you see my hip hop popularity came in and tied into climate change, right? During this campaign, we managed to raise awareness of the unfair prices that cocoa farmers were actually getting internationally from Cote d'Ivoire. We managed to raise $10,000 by having your cool young artists from all over Africa perform for 30 minutes in their home. And that landed us a partnership with Tony Chocoloni in Switzerland. And lastly, I sat as a participant at the World Bank Roundtable discussing and amending policies that had to do with arts, media, climate, and agriculture and entrepreneurs. It was a life-changing moment for me. And in just an instant, I stopped being just a Nicolette, but I became a young development African woman. And I allowed myself to unlearn what I knew and relearn what I didn't know, but that was relevant. As if that was not enough, my very long time friend from high school landed a job as the group MD for an agri-tech project in Ireland that was worth millions of euros. He called me and said, get ready for an interview. I want you to meet up with our board and take up the African ambassador role and consultant, and the rest was history. 8 days later, I had 6 presidents from Africa getting my number and calling me. 17 banks later, 6 governments later, I became the most wanted African young person in agriculture and climate. Bear in mind, climate change was not part of my dream or my passion, but that's where the money was. It is very important in development as young people that while we work on our passions, we must know what the policy is. We must know where the budget is. We must watch the news so we know where the money is. So even if music is your passion, if there's no budget in governments for music, they will not give you that money. You will need to align where the money is with your passion. So in development, while initially this was not my passion or expertise, it is the very component that catapulted me into sitting with heads of state, pushing the Agenda 2063, the Africa we want, as well as the AFCFTA. So I'm just going to get into just one paragraph of what the 2063 agenda says when it comes to climate change. And then I'll get into show you how you make money from climate change, despite which industry you are in. The Agenda 2063 recognizes that climate change is one of Africa's greatest threats. Greatest threats is warning the continent that it is getting warmer and faster. This rain that we're complaining about in Joburg, it never used to be like this in 5 years. Summer was beautiful, right? That's climate change. These floods that are happening in Durban, we can't go to Durban for Christmas anymore because it's flooding. That's climate change, and it's happening right behind, right before our eyes. With over 60% of Africa's population under 25 years, the youth will inherit both the risks and the responsibility to drive climate resilience. The Agenda 2063 calls for low carbon, climate resilient, environmentally sustainable Africa. This is where the green jobs and the creativity comes in. Renewable energy, climate smart agriculture, innovation and fuel development. It positions young people as central actors in the Africa we want, empowering them to lead climate solutions, shape policy, safeguard continents and the future. So while you are enjoying being a young person, going out and all of that, remember you're going to be 35 like me, and you're going to have to stop fighting your leaders. I've become the leader that I used to fight 10 years ago. So get ready and know the balance. The AFCFTA is more than a trade agreement. It's a gateway to Africa's youth to lead in climate action, resilience, and economy. I've been to 22 African countries right now, 18 of which I self-funded because I was serious about African integration. What you trade and you have here in South Africa is probably flooded, but it's a need in Angola. It's a need in Nigeria. So you can stay here and while and cry, but your market is out there, so get going. This agreement supports, harmonizes environmental standards, encourages sustainable value chains, and opens for new markets. Through the AFCFTA, the youth become drivers of a greener, more climate secure Africa. In my last 3 minutes, I want to say this: climate change is a priority and a risk factor that has funding allocated and easier accessible than any other industry. So listen carefully. If you think climate change and resilience has nothing to do with you, please note the following. Climate change plus fashion is equal to recycled material, recycled fashion. Pick n Pay is doing that. Climate change plus technology or IT is equal to robotics, climate systems, data management. Climate change plus engineering is equal to smart cities, disaster-resistant real estate. Climate change plus agriculture is equal to food security, sustainable diet. Climate change plus music or the creative economy is equal to awareness, is equal to relevant music. Climate change plus media is equal to influencers, is equal to journalism, is equal to filmmaking. Climate change plus law is equal to policy making and policy framework. Climate change plus automotive is equal to electrical vehicles. Client-resistant manufacturing, my machinery. Climate change plus health is equal to your pharmacies, your hospitals, you know. Climate change plus education is equal to curriculum change, climate graduates, trainers. Climate change plus human rights is equal to advocacy and awareness. Lastly, climate change and women is equal to gender studies. If you forget everything I have said today, remember this: prepare yourself, upskill yourself with relevant skills so that you do not become obsolete in the next 10 years. Be practical, watch the news, understand policy, and framework. Become the solution where governments and corporate budgets are. Innovate or you will be left behind. Roll up your sleeves, pack up your titles, do the grass work, get your hands dirty. Investors will come and find you. Government will jump onto a moving train. I have done my job telling you today. We have given you and amended the Agenda 2063 and the AFCFTA. The ball is in your court. It is not an easy journey. It was never easy for me, but it must be done. You are the leaders that you are waiting for, and no one is coming to save you. You don't become leaders by saying, complaining, and opposing only. You become leaders by doing. Leadership is a verb and a doing word. Let's build the Africa that we want. Thank you.
Wow, can we give another round of applause, please? If you want to forget anything I've said in this platform, please don't forget what Ms. Nicolette said. That's very important and that's key. Well, that much of a time, let's pass to our last panel of this program, because we want to make sure that you go home on time. And I know some of you traveled from very far and it's raining, you know, so I'm on it. So now the next panel will be moderated by Ms. Olwetu. And she works as well as one of the team members at ICOYACA South Africa chapter. And this panel, she will be with Nyakalo Mokwena from EFF Youth Council. And it's going to be joined by Tariq Lala, who is also from SASCO, and Zandile Zozi, DA Youth, and Dominion Luther from MK Party. Okay. Yeah. You want to start? Who is the colleague?
It's Kylie. She's with the Odlamini that side.
Okay. So who can find them?
I can call him.
Okay. Because I only have 10 minutes to allow this. By the way, I'm a boxing official as well. So if in 10 minutes you don't come to the ring, you are disqualified. Okay.
And then we also have from New York. I don't know who she said.
Okay, so let's move on. I would request Oluwato to just have a seat for now until we get those people to come here. But I would like to call James to give us a performance as we hype up our energy. Please, Mr. James Tao, as he comes, let's give a round of applause.
Bonani, Dumelani, Mulweni. Are you all good? It's the last day. This is the last day. I hope you enjoy the summit so far. So, I simulola. Pirile ga bosegangwe la phirima le tsatsi le lebile go pele me sa mo khutise re gati sa ntsha mo tsote o no lebile ko boka wa e polla mo monna mo go le go tswa musi ha go se tsobola ana olela matlakala mo na lebe go a ngwana mmala sebe so ha boroko ha bona go ya boroko ba sa maganka Ibrahim Captain Tower. Are we gonna break this tower and keep Africans down? Ngwana Masipilo, ke nna ka go tsenya kgwele, o rage kgwele, o lebelle go African Youth Summit is here to enlighten the youth to see the sign of the star. When the morning star is on it arise. African child, it's your time to smell the coffee, even when the rain comes and bring up the snow to see the la 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 la. When I'm Masipelo, Kena Boyanu, Reka Hopola, Ramino Barge Felakuti, and the secret of life is to no fear. Live with your mentality, not by what other people say. Look forward, don't ever undermine yourself. It's your time to African child, wake up now. It's your time. Sifana sari, wana mala sepilo, sari di sari tsele, khadima ala khadima, ra go re bana le pele. Look forward, not backward. But don't forget where you come from. Wana mala sepilo, let you shine.
Amazing. Can we give a round of applause to Mr. James? Okay, so unfortunately, guys, we did not see the panel that was supposed to be here. And I'm very, very, very critical when it comes to issues like this. So that means I will have to call Professor Mattis to come up to give us the closing remarks of today, which is going to basically be a roundup on everything that we did from the first day, second, until today. And we're going to hear from him as he represents the CAPSI and the Vice Business School. Please, as he comes up, let us give him a round of applause.
Okay, colleagues, thank you very much. I was unable to join you for the last couple of days, two, because of prior engagements, and also I was unwell on, was it Friday? Thursday it was, yeah. But I probably have the easiest job of the 3 days, which is to say thank you very much to each and every one of you here and others that have been with us in the last couple of days. As we draw the curtains of this particular conference to a close, I think the message has been very clear that Africa's transformation relies squarely on your shoulders. You courageous African young men and women. The task is really yours. As we move forward, we need to build or put action into the ideas that you've had. You've had all the ideas, you built networks, you probably, I would imagine, I've got a new information, new knowledge, as it were, including this morning in the listening that I've been doing. So as you move ahead, I hope that you are able to launch enterprises that create dignified and fulfilling jobs for yourselves and other young men and women across the continent, that you are able to advocate for policies that reflect your aspirations and enable those particular aspirations to be achieved. But more importantly, you should be able to lead in the governance spaces where these particular decisions are made. You have heard about the last speaker who talked about some of these particular spaces are invited, but when you see an opportunity, you have to, as they say, take the bull by the horns. And more so, we hope that we are able to build solutions that are sustainable, that can be able to bring or take Africa and our communities forward. But I think it would be, I wouldn't want to miss the opportunity to thank the Beats Business School for giving all the support that they've been giving us in hosting convenings like this, which enable us to engage not just the policymakers, but also young people and other actors in the ecosystem. We are grateful for the school leadership, especially Professor Rangasamy, Professor Mills, for his opening insightful remarks at the start of the summit. We further express our gratitude to Her Excellency Dr. Nkosazana Zuma, former chairperson of the Africa Union, for our inspiration, leadership, and our contributions to the discourse yesterday and even beyond. We are equally honored by the presence of the royalty here and other higher dignitaries. To our moderators, speakers, and all participants, we thank you for your energy, for your enthusiasm, but also, more importantly, for all the sharing that has happened in the last 3 days. This summit would not have been possible without contributions of some key organizations. First and foremost, Africa Youth Forum International, but also my own center, the Center on African Frontier and Social Investments here at the Business School. We also were in partnership with Synagos, who were very generous in supporting us, and we do not take this for granted, and we are very, 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 very grateful for that. And we wish to extend our sincere thanks to Marlene and her team. From CAPSI, you worked with Professor Moyo, Pumutso, was quite hands-on in everything that was done. Ikeleng, thank you very much for all the leadership. Ntando, our media person, Sfiso, Joseph, Mpo, our research leads, Dr. Osei, Dr. Oma, Dr. Chipeta, and many others, Charles at the IT and others. WBS Marketing, that's Ikeleng, Jatin. We also wish to thank the WBS finance team for all the assistance they have given to us, and to Lucy and Wilbert and your team for all the hard work that you put into this. I think with this, we can clap for ourselves and declare the... Okay, thank you. And declare the summit closed, but this is not the end. This is just the beginning of further conversations and further actions on all the ideas that you have had here. Drive safe home, travel safe home, and enjoy your Christmas breaks. And we hope to see you not in a not so distant future. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you very much, Professor Matters, for those closing remarks. I would also just add thank you. Thank you really from our deepest heart for making it to be with us for this all 3 days. Some did not make until today, but you made an effort to stay up until now. And it really means a lot to us. Please receive our acknowledgement for your efforts and your kind support towards us. And I would like to also just point that we have a declaration and a resolution document which will be published for everyone to be able to read on what we are going to do going forward. And everybody who has registered will receive an email with a link to join our the WhatsApp group where most of communications for future projects and where we're also going to be able to engage on one-on-one will be done there. So we will wait for our email on that and some other extra informations that will be sent to you so that we can keep this still keep on going. We don't want to stop it here, but we want to keep it going. Next, it's going to happen. We are in the discussion to do it at UNISA or at the UJ. So we are going to be announcing the next step for next year. So far, thank you very much. And please, let's go to the other side to have some food before we go home. And I will see you guys all next year. Thank you.
Sorry, I needed